Hello, everybody. My name is Isaiah Motley, and I'm going to be presenting my cohort project idea. So, the idea for this cohort was how to make college level classes and online learning easier for K-12 students. And my approach, I just thought of myself at that time and myself now, and what would have helped me back then, or things I would have liked to have done back then that would prepare me for college now. And that's pretty much my approach. My idea was online modules and units in the K-12 classes that will be online for the kids to become equipped with the skills they need to take their college classes online. So for the introduction, using modules to teach core and general ed classes in K-12, the goal is to equip students with skills in online learning environments similar to college courses. Explanation. K-12 classes are broken up into units that the kids are taught to build an understanding of a given subject. What this initiative plans to do is take one unit at a time from selected classes and convert them to online. These units could be selected for a different number of reasons. For the trial ones, I feel like it would be easier or less time consuming to use units that were um, easy and less time consuming. That way the kids can kind of teach themselves with something that's not as hard. The students will be able to watch videos, read articles to gain knowledge on the subject, then participate in discussion boards, tests, quiz, projects, assignments, all online, just like in college. An example, in a sixth grade reading class, there's different units like maybe poetry, paragraphs, research, writing a narrative, different units that they have. So I just took an example. Maybe one unit could have been online research. So if we took this unit and turned it into an online course, although it wouldn't be a whole course, it would just be one unit from a course, turned it into online, the students can learn how to conduct research online, take tests online, submit their papers, attend class virtually, just like in an online college setting. They will also learn how to use data gathering skills and information literacy skills for a class like this. The key benefits that I thought of when having the idea to use these online units, I would say are to save in-class time. Students will have a flexible schedule and allow them to do work at home or at school during their downtime whenever they want to. This would take out a whole unit because I remember in elementary and middle school, sometimes the teachers, we would be coming up on the end of the school year and they're like, there's one or two units that we didn't get to, and they would have to decide whether to take it off of our final test or how are they going to fix that problem. In this case, maybe one of the units they could have been working on the whole time online. So it was less things they had to do in time for class, opening up class time for other activities or other materials. Then I have the flexible deadlines. Assignments have a set due date, building time management skills needed for college. So instead of just go home, do your homework, and the next day you got to have it done, or the next class you got to have it done, it could be just like college. Like, okay, this is due Friday at midnight, Sunday at midnight, or Monday before the next class. That way the kids can say, okay, I know when my due date is. I can figure out when to do it. Or if there's an assignment that's open but due at the end of the semester or the end of the course, they could work on it early and give themselves time later. These are just techniques and skills and traits that they would learn on their own that would help them later on. Excuse me. And for technology use, I said students would gain experience using different devices and softwares such as laptops, tablets, phones. They could learn how to use the Microsoft Office suite. They could learn how to use AI. They could learn how to do a lot of different things that it maybe would have come later on in the line. Because I know myself, I didn't really have that much experience with Excel until I got to college. So imagine if I was using Excel in middle school, I would be a wizard at it by now. Preparation for the online college courses. The online college style structure would include grading, deadlines, virtual class sessions. I mean, if it did, it wouldn't necessarily have to have virtual, but it could. Maybe a couple Zoom meetings just so they can get the feel of it. Online discussion boards, that's a big part of a lot of classes and peer interaction. Maybe they can have a group project that they have to work amongst themselves with online that would that would mimic the college setting definitely. As I previously said, software skills, they could get practice with Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and just gaining familiarity with these softwares that are used in college would just help them later on. And again, the discussion boards. In college, we have a discussion board. You'll have to make your own response, then respond to two other people. And those discussion boards, they might not be so hard or so easy all the time, but I know a lot of people in college don't really like to do them. Maybe if we started younger, it wouldn't be a big deal to us, and it would just, oh, that's a discussion board. It's nothing too hard. Now, the adaptability or applicability to multiple subjects. I don't know why I used that word. It can be used in all the core classes, reading, math, science, social studies, anything I think that's not too in-depth or too, um, what's a good word? Too discussion based. It could apply for like maybe a philosophy type class or an art class or a foreign language class might not be the best, but just reading math, science, social studies, a lot of those are vocabulary based, memorization based, just things that you have to put to memory and be able to replicate. So I feel like those type of classes would be easier. Just in my opinion, speculating, I think those type of classes would be easier. And alternate learning options. This provides an alternative for students who prefer virtual learning over in-person classes. Or maybe if there was a class that a student wanted to opt out of, like I know sex ed, they gave you the choice if you were going to take it or not in some cases. Um, Maybe if there was a race or religion component to a class, or like in science, they make you dissect stuff. And maybe if a kid didn't want to do that, they could do it online instead of doing it in person. It would just be another option for people that wouldn't want to do a specific course in person. Now, for the challenges and considerations, the technology asset, ensuring each student has a device such as a laptop or a tablet to participate fully. Some schools already do that. A lot of schools already do that. I know with COVID, everybody was getting the Chromebook and the charger and the mobile hotspot. Maybe it could be something like that again. Maybe this technology is already in place and they could just be a nice way to use it. But in any case, it wouldn't work without that. So that's one of the main things, just making sure the kids have the technology. But as time goes on, I think this will be a much easier task. There's a lot of companies who are working to make things like that become more accessible. So I just think it wouldn't be too hard to get it to happen later on, if not now already. Now, for the strategy, I said the program and school administration will have to decide what classes and units they want to test this project out on. Once the first unit is completed, we can then compare the participation and the information retention of the students compared to when the class was taught online. So, say for instance, if they're in science and there was a unit about waves, like the crest and the trough of the wave, if we compared the online unit to the in-person unit, we could then say, okay, maybe this is working, maybe it isn't. And it would be an easy way to go back and forth because the data is going to be there. And then technology can be given to students from the school or the state, however it's going to go. I'm sure some of the kids already have that stuff at home. In conclusion, online learning modules offer time savings, technology skills, and preparation for the structure of online college courses. And the next steps would be to evaluate resources and start to plan the integration of this into different schools and subjects and to see how the kids will react and if they would like it and if it will be beneficial. Thank you.